Come to order and stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Right hand of your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
A quorum is present.
Any persons wishing to address the city? Well, first we have a presentation from the South Bay City's Council of Governments Work Program. I'm sorry.
Good evening. I'm Jackie Bacharach, and I'm the Executive Director of the South Bay City's Council of Governments.
Welcome, Jackie.
Thank you very much. I'm here tonight because the Board of Directors has asked me to speak to each of the councils in the Council of Governments and go through our work program and how it applies to each of the cities. So that I'm going to very briefly run through our work program. And before you, you should probably, hopefully have a 24-page presentation that I gave to our board. What I'm going to do tonight, I just turned it off. What I'm going to do tonight is just 4 slides, just to give you a little inkling, and then I'm going to go through some more information. The first slide is really telling you what we consider our area of success. One is, the first is that we really try to protect South Bay interests, that we provide a cost-effective way to spend your money that you spend on us, and also that we save money for cities in the South Bay. And I'm going to get into that a little bit. This is the chart I really wanted to show you, though, and this is our operating budget. The large green is grants that we get from a lot of different things that we do, and the only part that I really want to draw your attention to is the orange or gold. Oh, excuse me, I can't even see from here. It's purple. On my thing, it's orange.
You know, there's one right there.
Okay, purple. Okay, thank you.
We have options in the city.
41% of the operating budget is what the dues cover. Everything else we finance some other way. And the little red, which was a little bit of deficit, we actually didn't even do that this year. The revised shows no deficit with operating dues paying for 41%. So it's a pretty good bang for your buck. But I want to leave the presentation now and tell you about some of the programs in particular. We have 4 different areas that I want to emphasize. First is our environmental area. You know that we run the South Bay Environmental Services Center, and your city is a member of the Energy Leader Program because you're part of our Environmental Services Center. I'm really excited to be able to be at this city because your city has already received $168,000 in actual cash for the energy savings that you've done through working with our program. And I understand there's another check coming soon. So that's what I would call real money. And you've also saved about over 1.1 million kilowatt hours. You are gold, which means that for every project you do, you get 9 cents per kilowatt hour extra over and above any Edison audit. You also went and passed the HERO and Fig Tree PACE programs, property assessed financing programs. And I wanted to let you know that as of August, 57 applications have been approved from the city of Inglewood. And those applications totaled $2.8 million. HERO says that for every $100,000 spent, that equals a job. So right now, they've currently dispensed over $300,000, and that would be 3.37 jobs that this program is creating in the area. So just from that program, you're doing great. Besides the Energy Leader program, we also have what we call the Energy Management System program, where we're helping your staff manage the energy that you're using. And our energy management system has enrolled all of your accounts. You actually have 314 energy accounts. And then we've gone on to evaluate the fact that you can save money on those accounts, and we've given that report to your staff. We give you a quarterly at-a-glance document, which gives you an idea every quarter of where you are with your energy savings. We also put on workshops and trainings for your staff, and we recently put on a workshop for certified green building. We had 35 city people come, 1 from the city of Inglewood, and 100% of our class passed their exam and they're certified green builders. So you have a new certified green building professional in the city of Inglewood. We also do our holiday light exchange. And for those of you that haven't participated, there's been about 7 or 8 Inglewood residents that came last year and participated. At our office this year, November 13th and 14th, we're going to be passing out holiday lights. If you bring in your old string of holiday lights, we'll give you a new string for free and destroy your old string. The new string will be LED power, energy-saving lights. So we're very proud of that particular program. We do cash for kitchens for your restaurants. We give out smart controllers, which are irrigation controllers for residents that attend classes. We have toilet exchanges, and we do community events, and we've done several community events in the city of Inglewood. We also, your city is one of the few cities, 5 in the Edison Service Territory, that we're doing a water leak detection program for. And in the city of Inglewood, it's a pilot program, and we're quantifying your water use and helping you with any water leaks. And there's an evaluation report that will be coming to your city on that to help you now and in the future. We're writing climate action plans for every single city in the South Bay. And right now, we're focusing in on energy efficiency climate action plans, but we're excited that we just won a $1 million grant from the Strategic Growth Council, which will allow us to do the land use and transportation chapters of the climate action plans, and we'll be able to give you a completed climate action plan, we hope, in the next 2 years. We're working on timing right now. Measure R is another program that we do for the cities in the South Bay. In the Measure R program, the city of Inglewood has 3 projects that have gone through the program for almost $4 million. One's happened already and 2 are in progress. We work through a committee in which Ralph Franklin is our chair, and we allocate that money to cities, and Inglewood is one of the cities that's really taking advantage of it, and we really are happy about that. We try to watch what's going on at LAX to protect our South Bay cities and make sure that as the rail line, for example, comes through the cities of the South Bay, it doesn't diminish how it's going to come through the rest of the South Bay. We're working on the Express Lane project. We've protested some of the funding and the way it's gone and tried to raise our voice on that. But the most important thing we're doing with transportation right now is Metro is considering a sales tax, another sales tax measure. And we are not taking a position on that sales tax, but we're trying to express the opinion of the South Bay cities that if they're going to have another sales tax, they have to have money for local streets and roads and local needs. It can't all just go to regional funds. It has to go to local, and we're raising that voice on behalf of the community. We also help appoint to the Sector Council, and as you know, Councilman Franklin is the chair of the South Bay Sector Council. In sustainability, we run a battery electric vehicle project in which we give battery electric vehicles to members of the South Bay community to try them, and that helps us inform us to tell cities where to put charging stations. And that program is winding down, but we're hoping to get one that actually involves people that live in apartment houses. We do, as I said, workshops, trainings, and networking. We have committees for Parks and Recreation directors, planning directors, economic development directors. We bring them together to share best practices so that we can learn from each other. And then last, and our work program this year calls for a couple of new things. We have a brand new committee of the city staff that deals with senior services, because we have a lot of, our demographic is aging, and there's a lot we can do together, working together to help our seniors, and we're learning what we can do. And we have a new committee on social media to help our cities learn from each other as to how to most effectively use social media. And we are now considering a proposal that we really ask cities to consider, but we brought it to your attention on homeless services. And so that will be something we're going to be addressing in the future. I hope you'll all come to our October 9th legislative breakfast, where we have our legislators and their staff come. And the most important event of the year is February 27th, 2015, where we have our General Assembly. And it's in Carson all day. It's free. And this year it's going to be on neighborhoods of the South Bay, really about our community and what makes our community so great. So I'd be really glad to answer any questions, and I want to thank you very much for your participation in the COG and for the participation of Councilman Franklin.
Very much. Public comment. Any persons wishing to comment on any item on today's agenda may do so at this time.
Michael Bendo, and First District, if I may, I'd like to comment on number 8 in consent calendar here, parking and enterprise services. Is that okay now to do that?
Well,
Okay.
Is it a public hearing? No, it's not a public hearing.
On the supplemental, number 8.
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. I think this is a very important move by the city to establish this because we have moved out of our old system and we're moving into a new system. And I think the quickest way to resolve a lot of the things that we have in the past, which may really cost us in our carrying on these citations that are older than 5 years, is to waste money with our establishment of paying people to do this type of thing and to try to collect these accounts. These accounts are probably in New York and Minnesota and all over the United States by now, or they're hiding so good that we wasn't able to do anything with it. But the important thing is to get on with the new, what we have to face in the future, and to establish some type of system where we can do this thing and do it right with our new source of ticketing with the enterprise services, and make that and establish that and advertise this thing. And I'm looking at number 3 down here. We need to advertise this around the city and then take a stand on enforcing it, because we're going to have to find some money to operate this city in the future. But once we do that, and with the grace of we are getting rid of that the plan that we had before, this will help us to establish and maintain a stream of flow of the tickets and things that we're saying that we need now, because it's very important to us to have law and order in this city with the amount of people we're going to be having coming in here and collecting those tickets and establishing some type of new life in this area. Thank you very much.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. I had to speak on finance and on CS3 and 8. Now, on finance, we just completed the budget hearing. Tomorrow, the fiscal year starts, October 1st. However, I must tell you, every member of this council, we are entering a point where this city is at risk. And I'm not saying doom and gloom, but that budget that we approve, and just saying that by and by we're going to take care of all the vacancies. And on CS3, we have the Success Agency Oversight Committee tomorrow. And Mr. Fields, I might tell you, your website is blank on the Oversight Commission. We have no information. And even tonight, we're going to submit a ROPS for tomorrow. It's not available to the public what you're submitting. That's unconscionable.
What's unconscionable?
Time, okay.
What's unconscionable? I didn't hear it.
Well, just stop my time. And
What's unconscionable? I'll give you, what did you say was
No,
unconscionable?
just my time.
We're going to let you go over. What's unconscionable?
What's
I wanted to hear, I didn't hear what you said was unconscionable.
Okay, I'll repeat it. It's unconscionable that we have an oversight website and it's blank. That's unconscionable, Mr. Fields. And also, we have 1415A, which is from July to December. Okay? The outstanding debt is $477,012. Okay, what's interesting about that is it's been an increase from the other one. So instead of going down, it's increased. And when I say we north of 900 million, believe me, I'm giving you the facts. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. And I cannot emphasize to you more, each councilman, please be at the Oversight Commission tomorrow. It's very important, and the only way we're going to come through this as to work together. I recognize that. I'm willing to do anything that's necessary. But first, to solve a problem, you got to recognize there is a problem. And once you do that, there's solutions. But don't deny what I'm saying. And Mr. Fields, I called the office, I can't even meet with him. Everybody's refusing to meet. So I have no choice but to speak publicly. But I can tell you this, I have documents from the State Department of Finance to back up every single thing I'm saying. And I will provide each one of you with a copy if you're interested. But I can't do anything other than a resident trying to speak up for my city and we the people. That's all I'm trying to do. But just show some respect or some concern. That's all I'm asking. But you mum, you won't talk.
Thank you. For the public, the website on the Successor Agency is up. I just saw it on Mr. Falco's phone. And there are several categories you can click on. You can see the minutes, so I don't know what the problem is, but the website is up. Thank you, Mr. Matthew. Mr. Fisher, please come forward. I know.
Roy Fisher, the First District, with regard to this parking enterprise thing. On this number 3, you're talking about them bringing a report annually. I'd like to see that report even monthly. I'd like more than that to see them explain to the city and the residents of this city why you chose to get rid of the parking people that you have and turn this parking enterprise over to a retired police officer and bring them into the city, impacting all the residents of the cities with all these tickets that they're handing out recently. I think it's wrong. I think it's another way to get money out of the residents of the city, like you always seem to. And on number 2, with regard to this human resources, you know, I will say to you all, like I have said in the past, that you are a ripoff to this city with regard to the monies that you all take out of this city. You know, and now you're adding another $7 or $8, I guess, per diem for whatever, you know, for this little city that we have, the 9 square miles. It seems to me that, you know, that's quite a bit, and maybe you ought to put it back into the general fund and not even take it. Again, you know, I think there is no other city in the South Bay that takes from the residents of this city in tax dollars the monies that you then do. It's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong, and none of you ever will stand to it and talk about why and how you can justify it, because you can't.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and staff. Renal Davis, 2nd District. I would like to talk about on the consent calendar supplemental for parking and enterprise services. First what comes to mind is, wow, that's a big number, 14 million, almost $14.5 million. I'm shocked that we actually wrote that many tickets over the years, and these are just the ones that weren't collected on. I wonder how many we wrote. But there are laws, folks violate them, that's how it rolls, I guess. But it looks as though you're taking action on something that was very inefficient, and that's a good thing. I hope that this clears this sort of thing up, because we shouldn't have tickets on the books for over half a decade. I mean, that was just way too long. And hopefully a system will be put in place where you can keep track of a person. If they get a ticket, they answer for it. I can just speak from some personal knowledge. Rent-a-car agencies, they have this sort of problem all the time where a person will, say from Hertz, they'll rent a car, get a bunch of parking tickets on it, and just turn the car in. Oh yeah, they end up paying for it because they hold your credit card. They have, when you sign a contract, there's a redress, I believe it's 90 days. And so we shouldn't have folks being able to, get tickets and just blow the town off. And that's all I have to say on that. Thank you very much for your time.
Good afternoon. I need to ask you guys something about this here. I'm looking at, is this $14 million? You mean to tell me we have all of those tickets from 2009, no one did anything about all those tickets? We gotta pay them?
Some of those tickets, they have no proper license plates, they're missing a number or an alpha on the license plate. A lot of them are incorrectly filled out, they're non-collectible.
Oh, that makes sense, okay, because otherwise,
Otherwise, they'd be attached to the DMV records of the cars if the cars existed, and then we'd collect it as soon as someone went to register their car.
okay, because I was saying 14 million? At first I thought it was 14,000. Thanks for explaining that. Thank you.
Good evening. I also am a little bit concerned about this, and my question isn't, because I read the staff report, as to how come they're not collected. Obviously, there was a wrong number placed in the wrong box. My question is, with regard to the $14 million, was this recognized before you approved the budget? Is it included in the budget as AR? If not, why not? At that point, it was an account supposedly receivable. Until tonight's action, it should be an accounts receivable. Tonight's action would then change it. Otherwise, we're kind of not being realistic with the numbers of a date certain, are we? And so that is a little bit of a concern. If we have 14 million that is still on the books as of when o'clock versus another time, that impacts how we look at what our numbers are. 14 million should have some impact on the budget. Our supposed general fund is only about 85 million. If it's a separate and distinctly different account, then that would be significantly impacted by 14,462,000, almost $14.5 million. And of course, if you had that as a receivable and we're not going to receive it, then what are you doing to make up the difference of $14 million? That's kind of like expecting a payroll check and finding out, oops, you're not employed anymore, but you already committed to pay for your kids' college or the rent or the car or something else. So I would hope that we have that explanation. Well, we can laugh about it, but, that's how numbers are. If you owe amount, expectation, that's budget. I say that having a lot of years in business, and you actually do go back and you reconcile those on a regular basis. We're going back from 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, a lot of years. And I am concerned that we are just now bringing this up. That means it hasn't been brought up for 18 years. That's exactly what 96 to 2014 is. And I guess that is a major concern for me. Additionally, I am a little bit concerned that as Mr. Matthews, Dr. Matthews, referred to the issue of the ROPS. That's very important, tomorrow at 5:30, but I would hope that you would include in all of that discussion all the letters that we have received from the Department of Finance, because as you suggest that everybody go online to see that report, I would also suggest that they go online to find out what the Department of Finance in Sacramento sent to us, and that way that we would have an equitable understanding of everything that's happening. And of course, I'd like to know if and when we're ever going to get someone from the Inglewood Unified School District to replace the person who is no longer, because right now it's a vacancy.
Really quickly, for the public, the city budgets an expected amount of revenues received from parking citations and fines, and then that is only booked as the money comes in. And as the year goes by, we receive so much from the courts from the citation collection process, and that's actual booked revenue. And if it falls short, there's a shortfall, and it's noted as the budget is prepared. If there's a surplus in that figure, then it goes towards the good of the city. But the reality is that tickets that are not filled out right are not collectible, so they're not tickets. And so this, although they may aggregate to this amount of money, it's not money the city has banked on or expected. It's just an uncollectible ticket. So it isn't booked anywhere. It's a ticket that's invalid. So to say that we're missing $14 million is very inaccurate. The reality is, it's just the same as the ticket not being written. And so the company has come in and said, you have all these sitting in the system that can't be collected, so why not wipe them out instead of skewing your uncollectible rates year after year after year? So that's, and if you understood budgets and business, you'd get that. But go ahead.
I want to compliment this council on this supplemental 8. When you buy a house, first thing you do, you get in there and you clean it out before you move in. And the way I see this, you cleaning house to rebuild. And this is exactly what I think you need to do. And I want to congratulate you for it, staff, Just keep up the good work.
Okay, close public comment. Item 1, open the successor agency and the Housing Authority.
A quorum is present.
Item 1, CSA 1 and H1.
Move allow payment of the bills.
Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council and agency members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Buds.
Aye. Consent calendar, items 2 through 8.
Move approval. Second.
Madam City Clerk.
Council members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. SPH 1.
Staff report requesting that a public hearing be set to consider the adoption of an ordinance granting a franchise to Crimson California Pipeline LP to operate and maintain a crude oil transmission pipeline in the city of Inglewood.
Set the public hearing for October 14th, 2014 at 7 p.m. A1.
Thank you, Mayor. SJ1, there was a closed session regarding a confidential real property negotiations regarding the portions of real property located at 11101 South Yukon Avenue in the city of Inglewood. As to that matter, discussion was held, no final action was taken. As to A2, there's no oral report.
CM1.
No city manager reports.
CC1.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to go back. When you did the consent calendar, did you include 8?
I did.
Okay, good, because we didn't hear it, so thank you. I want to share just a couple of things, if I could. The last day to register to vote is for the November election is October the 20th, and if you need registration forms, you can get them in the office, and we can mail them out to you, and our number is 310-412-5280. The County of Los Angeles will begin their early voting on October the 6th, and you can do that at the Register Recorder's Office at 12400 East Imperial Highway, and that's in Norwalk. The voting hours will be from Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and they will also hold 2 weekends, on a Saturday and a Sunday for October 25th and the 26th, and November the 1st and the 2nd from 8 to 4 p.m. If you want to vote by mail, you will receive a sample ballot booklet in the mail, and they have a form on the back where you can fill out and ask to vote at home. It's nice. It's kind of like a vote. Well, I'm an absentee permanent voter, but it's really nice, a nice feature.
I want to also talk about this past Sunday. I was at the District 2 Community Picnic. Councilman Alex Padilla, it was awesome. I mean, the turnout was awesome, and we had an awesome time. We had a registration table, we got people registered, that was really cool. So, and we had people that wanted to fill out their forms at home, so that was fine. And it was just really, really an awesome experience. This is my second time, you had it last year as well, and it's good. The thing that I like the most is how people are coming together in the city of Inglewood. There may be people that think that they're not, but they're fooling themselves, because this council is bringing people together, and that's awesome, and it was definitely shown by Councilman Padilla this past Sunday, and we all had an awesome, awesome time. And I think Mr. Falco is responsible for the pictures being up on the, oh, by the way, look. And Ethel, oh, yeah, we have to give Ethel some. So I just want to say to the councilman and to the mayor and the rest of the council, keep up the good work and keep your chins up, because you guys are doing an awesome job. Thank you very much. That's the end of my closing remarks.
CT1, let's open the Finance Authority. Madam Clerk.
Monthly treasurer's report. Quorum is present, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
CT1, CSA2, H2, and F1.
Monthly treasurer's report for the month ending July 31st, 2014.
Receive and file. CT2, oral reports by the city treasurer, mindful of the new time constraints.
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to give a brief report for the treasurer's report, and again, there are copies on the table outside that you can pick for yourself, and it's roughly about a 10-page, 11-page report, so it's quite detailed and give you all of the detailed information regarding the treasurer's report for the month of July 31st, 2014. And the total cash and investments for the city of Inglewood is $98,321,359. And the successor agency, $108,599,083. The Housing Authority, $100,680. Public Finance Authority, $15,216,440. And the total cash and investment portfolio is $222,237,562. And the interest earning to service debt for the city was $26. For the interest earnings was $77,422. And for the successor agency, the debt service interest earning is $11,256. And the Housing Authority, $56, and Public Finance Authority, $1,664. Again, there's a very detailed report outside that really gives a lot of information, so please pick up a copy for your information. And I would like to mention the current investments at September 29, 2014 is $46,520,188. And I would also like to mention there was a rather interesting article in the LA Times on the 29th, and it was Mayor Garcetti said he's issued warning to city police officers and firefighters who might be abusing leave program that pays them 100% of their salaries tax-free for claimed injuries. And the mayor pointed out that the city spent more than $328 million on salaries, medical bills, for police and firefighters on injury leaves from 2009 to 2013. And he says there's something like a 30% increase. So apparently they are looking very hard into that particular matter. And also would like to mention that foreclosure inventory is down 34% from a year ago. So that's good. And I looked at one of the homes that sold in Inglewood recently, just last week, sold it roughly about $400,000, and it was a 3-bedroom home. In July, it fell 21% to $586,000, and seriously delinquent inventory fell to $1.6 million. So that's good also. Also, I would like to point out that consumer debt has hit an all-time high. And for U.S. households, consumer debts profile is, for the average credit card debt is $15,607. But most of that money is spent on cars, tuition, and other consumer goods. And as you know, tuition exceeds more than $1 million.
We're at time.
Can I have just another 30 seconds, Mayor? Thank you. And the average mortgage debt is $153,500, and the average student loan debt is roughly about $32,656. But the good news is that the dollar's strength is up. It's stronger than the yen and the euro. Consumer prices, consumer spending on durable goods, spending on non-durable goods, personal income, disposable income are all up, as well as auto sales, and unemployment receiving benefits are also up, but contracts to purchase homes are down. That concludes my remarks. And I would just like to mention, I also attended Councilman Padilla's picnic, and it was, it was outstanding. I didn't see my picture up there, but I was there.
Okay, and the story she was telling about was about the city of Los Angeles. Still want to make that clear.
I did say the city of Los
I know you did, but I'm making it clear, right? Public comment, any persons wishing to have, oh, we have another item? I'm sorry. Oh, so I'm sorry. PSA 3.
Staff report recommending adoption of a resolution approving the January 1st, 2015 through June 30th, 2015 recognized obligation payment schedule ROPS 1415B for submittal to the Oversight Board.
Move items 1 and 2.
Second.
Madam Clerk.
Council and agency members, Dodson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Chairman Butts.
Aye. Adjourn the successor agency. Public comment. Persons wish to address the council on any matter connected with city business, not elsewhere considered on the agenda, may do so at this time.
Damon Johnson, City Council District 3, to the executives and the supportive services and everyone here. I just want to remind us that on the October the 20th is our Senior Citizen Advisory Committee at 10 o'clock downstairs in the meeting room. And that's all I wanted to do, mention that. We hadn't had it for a while. I did want to say something about parking enforcement. You know, I used to attend El Camino College, and at the same time I was at Metropolitan Skills Center. And one day I was parked my car at Metropolitan Skills Center. It was legal, and I got a citation on my car. And I wondered what was going on, and I called downtown. They said, yes, you got a ticket. But there was no, I shouldn't have got a ticket because there was legal parking there. I had to go through changes, but I went to court, and I went to a judge, and the judge said, oh, don't laugh, but we can't go any further with this. Somebody...
We're at time, sir.
Time's up?
Yeah, time's up, sir.
Okay, well, anyway, someone did falsify a ticket for me.
I hope the PBS's television station is on. My name is Alfonso Parker, Jr. I'm a Vietnam veteran, Conscious Objector, 6667. My number is 323-842-3363. On every Thursday night, 7 to 9, I'm at 1137 West Redondo Boulevard, just west of West Boulevard on Redondo. Come see me, veterans. I'm independent. I don't receive government funding. I do this on my own because advocacies are just making money. The Justice Department and the FBI just a couple of weeks ago decided to investigate the Veterans Administration. The Veterans Administration is not the culprit. The culprit is the FBI, the Justice Department, the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, and the military. They are trashing your records, ladies and gentlemen. They always have. Veterans can't do anything without order, and the orders come from the President, Commander-in-Chief, and the military. This is who's doing your records and have been. Come see me. My number is 323-842-3363. Bring the trash, bring their documents, because
Parker,
they're losing documents and everything
time,
else.
Mr. Parker.
Come see me. I'll show you what's going on.
Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Councilman Mr. Padilla, Mr. Morales, Mr. Dodson, Mr. Franklin, and Mr. Fields. My name is Joshua Aparicio. I'm 9 years old, and I'm in the magnet 5th and 6th combination grade. Because of my academic excellence and working diligently in school, I've been invited to visit Washington, D.C., the nation's capital, in 2015. I'm here to ask for sponsorship from the city of Inglewood as an investment in my future for this trip. The cost can be discussed privately. My mom is unable to pay for this trip because she lost her job. I will volunteer my time at upcoming events to help pay for my trip. Thank you for taking the time to listen and for your kind consideration in advance.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name is Joseph Texer. I'm a 50-year resident of Inglewood. James Butts is trying to hide his misconduct from the public and from council members by cutting public comments from 3 minutes to 1 minute. So I want to give other councilmen a resource you can use to see exactly what kind of sick, immoral person you are supporting. That resource is the website Anybody But James Butts in 2014. This resource is important to you council members because you must realize that when you support James Butts, you are supporting all of his immoral, dishonest, illegal, and sick public and private conduct. You must realize that when you lay down with this dog, you will forever have his fleas. If you Google Anybody But James Butts in 2014, you will see videos and radio interviews and articles from multiple newspapers and a Yale Law Review and official documents from the city clerk's office and from the LA County DA, from California courts and from the United States Supreme Court, and videos all telling a story of how James Butts deliberately violates the law and people's civil rights. And of course, you can see a video of an Inglewood woman publicly accusing James Butts of being a child molester, based on the report of Butts' former wife and his daughter. Remember, Anybody But James Butts in 2014. Many Inglewood residents, including myself, challenged James Butts' authority to cut public comments to only 1 minute without public comment, without council vote, and without discussion.
Gil Matthew, District 4, Mayor and City Council. I would hope that you reconsider this 1 minute public comments. Just reconsider it, what effect it's having on the residents. And residents of Inglewood, you must come to these council meetings, get involved, city, take responsibility for it, identify with it. The only way, because it's only we the people got to exercise their rights in this city to make it what we want it to be. So don't complain about how it is. Get involved. Now, we must find ways to supplement the general fund. Here again, we need to immediately look at what we have and pass the property transfer tax, since most property is going to be sold, to enhance the general fund. And give a precise report on the projections of the general fund so we can have information on it. It's stuff for everybody.
Thank you,
I understand
Samantha.
that.
Thank you.
My name is Willie A.G., and I live in the beautiful city of Inglewood, thanks to people like Mayor Butts, Ralph Franklin, Eloy Morales, Alex Padilla, and my friend George Dodson. This gentleman that spoke a minute ago, That's not about the Constitution of the United States. You don't demean people like that. I don't care who you are. You don't have a right to do that. And I wish this man would cut it out, you know, because it's not, I don't think people want to hear that junk, you know. If you want to say something positive. Like, I enjoyed this young man, and I'm definitely going to give him a donation. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Roy Fisher, First District. You know, there's nothing like freedom of speech. And it seems to me that this city, in which I've lived in for more than 50 years, and then to have you, Mayor Butts, come into this city and think that you can dictate to the people what they say and how much time they have, you know, it's a shame. You know, people don't even get answers to the questions that they ask. Last week, I asked you about why this covenant on the hospital that's supposed to be here only for a hospital was taken away, and, you know, I got no answer. People ask you a simple question like, where is the casino going to be placed? And, you know, it was a simple question by a couple of people, and they got no answer, you know. I don't know why you then think that you can, people are talking there, why that you think that you can dictate to people like you do. And as Mr. Teixeira has said, you have been admonished even by the Supreme Court. And
Thank you, Mr. Fisher.
I think that maybe that'll happen again.
Thank you, Mr.
Because,
Fisher.
you know, you don't have the right to take the right away from anyone.
Good evening, council members. I am really kind of befuddled by why we bothered to pledge to that flag at the beginning of the meetings, since one of their very top 10 of the original 12 Bill of Rights is that right to free speech. As a matter of fact, if I was really going to take that to the fullest extent, maybe we ought to stop honoring anyone who is a veteran, because they voted. Well, they didn't vote. They actually signed a piece of paper, and originally they had to go whether they wanted to or not. It wasn't a volunteer service, but they did risk their lives. They did often die for the principles of free speech, that concept which makes this country different from most countries on this planet. And it is unfortunate that rather than just saying, oh, that's a concept I should listen to, maybe there is a kernel of truth in a thought pattern by a member of the public. Anything said by some members of the public is dismissed. Do you really think that double entry bookkeeping is not a real item? I don't know. Maybe with computers we forgot about ledgers. But you know, at some point you probably ought not speak back to members of the public, as you so often do. It's unfortunate.
Hi, Inglewood family. You know, after last week, you left me really confused. Mayor, you want me to talk directly to you, you don't even look at me. So anyway, you left me really confused. You know, you and Eloy Morales came up with really a good thing for probably more people in this city than since I've been coming to these meetings. And you know, really good. And then all of a sudden you turn around and you cut the amount of time that people have to speak. And you know me, I'm pretty short-winded most of the time, okay? And I'm really confused, see, because I belong to an organization, we say you can do anything you want to, anything in this whole world, but you will pay the price, so be careful.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon. I need to ask the council and the mayor a question. When you changed the minutes, the time, did you all vote on this as a whole, or did you just
No, I'm the chair. I set the times meeting by meeting, actually.
Okay, so the chair sets the time, so this is why they,
That's why I changed.
oh, okay. Well, I want to mention something about the picnic. It was so nice. I mean, I swear, y'all, everyone that did not show should have came. It was so, even Artie Fields was there, guys. Man, and Mike Falco came all the way. It was nice, Alex. It was so nice. People were saying they never knew that park was there, ever existed. It was really nice. I must give you your props on this picnic. And you never did run out of hot dogs, just like you said.
Aldine Sly, First District. I just have one question which wasn't answered last meeting. To my councilman, George Dotson, I'd like to know what is being done with the Warren Lane Elementary School property. You said you'd check on it and you'd let me know, and I haven't heard a word, so would you please tell me what's going to happen with that property? Thank you.
Good evening again, Mayor and City Council and staff. Ray Davis. I guess this is one of those defining moments where if folks are interested enough and show enough interest and concern, something will happen. But that's what we'll have to wait and see. I would love for people to get involved. I wish.
Sorry about that.
Oh.
I couldn't resist. I couldn't resist. I wondered who it would be, but okay. I'll restore your time.
Okay.
All right.
You got me. Hey. But anyway. But anyway.
Go ahead. I apologize.
On my last 25 seconds, I'll say this.
No, you'll get your full minute. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. With what's regarding the city on down the road, I'll be looking with interest at what's happening tomorrow. Find out what the deal is, as we all should be. And something I said last week, I want to say it publicly, and I'm going to the assumption that you guys have made history. I used to ask Mr. Franklin and Mr. Morales, they could tell you. I would come up here and say, hey, council, make history. You guys went out and did it. You had to make some cuts, and you had to cause pain. But if you didn't do that and make history, we'd be Vallejo, we'd be Stockton, we'd be Detroit, and there it is. And with my last 8 seconds, hey, maybe you guys should figure out a way to put it in a bottle and sell it, because this isn't the end, guys. There's hundreds of little cities like ours all over the country that are in the same boat, and they're just still in denial. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, staff. My name is Stuart Bailey. And my comments are about Joseph Texera and how angry he is all the time when he comes up here on this podium and he has a group following in his chambers that do the same thing, basically. And that's all I have to say about that is he's got to learn how to chill out. Okay, now here's another thing that I want to know. AEG has just asked for 6 months extension to negotiate with the city to get a football team. What are you guys doing to make them so nervous to where they have to ask for 6 months for a football team? I know y'all are doing something. It sounds like it's pretty good. Keep up the interesting work, gentlemen. Have a good one.
Okay, we'll close public comment, and we'll have council comments, starting with Councilman Dotson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, I'd like to
say this past Saturday, we had our third annual shredding event, and it came off very, very well. I want to give special thanks to Consolidate Disposal Service for their help in this event, and people were really able to get rid of a lot of paper. I also want you to put on your calendars, District 1 Town Hall meeting will be First Church of God, October 11th, 10 to 12. Come out and find out what's really going on in the city of Inglewood. And since I was asked this question, I thought I answered it last week, but I guess she didn't hear me because Ms. Sly had left. But that school will be a special needs school. That is the word right now. But the school district is in remolding or removing, however, they're going to be constantly changing. But right now, it is supposed to be a special needs school. So the other thing is I did go to Councilman Padilla's picnic, and I really enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed the golf because I was able to make a bullseye. So I don't know who else was able to do that, but I did that. And my hat's off to you. And that was something that the kids got involved in. I think it's really great. I hope that some of them who did try it will really go and become a part of the first tee. Once again, thanks for coming out. We appreciate your comments. But I do have an office, and you can call my office. A lot of times, some of these questions can be answered before we come to the meeting on Tuesday. So if you have a question and you really need an answer, please call my office, and I'll try and get the answer for you. Thank you very much. Have a great week.
Councilman Franklin.
Thank you, Mayor. I want to reach out also to Councilmember Alex Padilla, a very outstanding Community of Unity event that occurred at North Park. I was impressed. I don't see my pictures up there, though, but that's all right. But I want you to know I enjoyed the gourmet hot dogs that you had, but it was, and on a serious note, it was great fun, great fellowship, and more importantly, it gave an opportunity for the residents to get to know one another, and also to see staff there, all the elected officials there. It was just warm-hearted, great experience. And so I will give you your props. In addition to that, I want to reach out to the Alliance Group, who gave special recognition to Pablo Novello, who's 81 years old. That is, they wanted to show recognition for his services throughout the city of Inglewood, particularly in District 4, of us working together on community issues, particularly with the prostitution, with reference to graffiti, the gang activities, that he has been very instrumental for the last several decades. And so Councilman Eloy Morales and myself gave special tribute in recognizing him, and we thank the Alliance Group for clearly identifying that they are part of our community and they are a force to reckon with, and keeping the law enforcement working with them as well as the council, and it's a win-win operation because they care about our community. Thank you and good night.
Councilman Padilla.
Throwing me off
Yeah.
now. Anyway,
Chair,
you know, first off, I want to thank the community and all the mayor, the council, city staff, Mr. Field, Mr. Falco, city clerk, Yvonne and Wanda, the city treasurer, for coming out. You know, it really was a great event. It was, again, an opportunity to break bread, to get the community together, whether it was the residents and the business owners. But it wasn't only people from District 2. It was folks from all over the city of Inglewood and the surrounding Los Angeles area. Folks from all around want to be a part of all the positive things that we're doing here in the city of Inglewood. But I got to say, I know you guys are thanking me and giving me the kudos, but I got to tell you, the kudos go to the crew that helped me out, the picnic committee, they came together to make it happen, and that's Juanita and Jim Withrow, commissioners, also Commissioner Patricia Sanchez, Mary McBride, Diana Mori. Diana and Patricia are the ones, if you saw the signs all around the city, they're the ones that took the time to put those together and to put them out there. I want to thank my assistant, Ramon Quinones, for organizing our meetings and making sure we stayed on target. Special thanks to my beautiful wife, Stella, who not only was a part of the committee, but was out there working hard all day long. My son, Alex, and my daughter, Priscilla, that were out there. My youngest son, Michael, who's up north at school, kept calling to check in to see how, hey, Dad, how's it going over there? You know, but again, it's because of others that, you know, we do the things that we do. It's not us up here. It's because of the folks in the community that come together to do so many positive things. I know we have gentlemen or folks that come up here and talk about, you know, you didn't answer a question last week about the hospital or the casino, and those questions did get answered. One of them was in the staff report. The other one the mayor actually addressed right after that gentleman spoke about the hospital issue. So folks will come up here and they'll reiterate things and make it sound like they're knowledgeable and they're speaking with authority, but quite frankly, sometimes they don't know what they're speaking about. You know, and so we have to take the time to correct those folks so that not only you out here in the audience, but those that are at home watching will understand that not everybody that comes up here and speaks is speaking with the knowledge that they profess to have. You know, so we have to take the time out of our closing statement to correct that. That being said, I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. Again, thank you all for coming out to the picnic. Joshua, I know you're going to get the money because we believe in you and all the things that you've done and continue to do in our community, son. So you'll get to Washington, and I hope they're ready for you. With that, thank you so much, Mayor.
Councilman Morales.
Thank you. First, I'd like to mention, some of you might have seen the bicycle officers out there on the streets. They're doing an excellent job of cleaning up some of the main arteries. I just wanted to point that out because when you see them, say something nice, wave at them, because they're really making a difference, at least on Century Boulevard during the summer months and everything else. So want to keep them motivated and pumped up. Want to thank the chief for that. Also want to mention District 2 Picnic. Councilman Padilla just did a great job, and what's amazing is kind of the fresh spirit that exists in the city of Inglewood. Just like, you know, we're all kind of enjoying our camaraderie, we're enjoying our relationships, and we're building new ones. And I just think it's great that all of us, the 5 of us, show up to an event. We have a good time while we're there, and staff is there too, which is an amazing support that staff gives us. I want to give kudos to all the staff that showed up there because truth is, you know, there must have been a good 20 staff members out there, and I have to say that, you know, it's the first time I've noticed that so many of them come out for that extra weekend day. It's a day that they can do whatever they want, and they chose to come here to the city they work in, and that's a big deal. Parking enforcement. You know, I'm getting so many calls from the fact that we're actually enforcing parking. You know, folks, this should have been done many years. We didn't have the resources to do it. We'll take the calls, we'll take the questions, but I'm getting calls about when I ask, you know, did you actually block that driveway? They say, yeah, but I've been doing it for years. Well, you know, those are things that we have to start to realize. That's the city we're becoming. We're becoming a city that handles its business, and I think it's great. Also want to thank the Alliance Group, who 81 years old, believe, right, Mr. Novello? Great man, you know, was honored. He was very happy to be honored. It's the first time in the 15 years that I've known that he's been the head of his block club that he was honored. So it was great to be at, and you know, he did a great job. Public comments, you know, the mayor sits up here and he takes hits, but the truth is, you know, we support what he's doing because he's making these meetings productive. You know, and that's what these meetings are. They're the city's business. It's great that people feel free to make whatever comments that they want, but the truth is that We hope that more comments are productive towards getting the city's business done. And that's what that's about. So while the mayor's taking his hits, we're all behind him on those. So I just want to point that out. And young Mr. Aprecio, something tells me you'll be in D.C., so make sure you come see us all individually. Thank you all for coming out.
I'm going to reiterate again, as it comes to comments, the public has more time than the council does, official time to speak. And we trim the clerk and the city treasurer as well. And the reality is that in this, people seldom talk about city business in that last 3 minutes. It's usually an attempt to fill up 3 minutes with some type of speech. And so it doesn't take but a minute to say, I've been trying to get this tree trimmed. I called my councilman. I called the mayor's office. I've called Public Works. No one's helping me. I need some help. I mean, that's what I envision it to be. But people use it for whatever they want. That's their right. That's free speech. But the reality is that we run the meetings. We make determinations. We don't always have 3 minutes for for workshops. We're changing. We're trying this. And I think it's the right thing to do. Ms. Sly, we can't tell you for certain what Warren Lane is going to be used for. The school district's told us a couple different things. The reality is that's property of the school district. I do know that the church wanted to buy it. The school district is not selling it. So Councilman Dotson told you the latest iteration, but the reality is that you'd probably go to a school board meeting and get a better answer to that question. As it relates again to Mr. Fisher talking about the Daniel Freeman covenant, obviously there wasn't a legal covenant binding enough to make it stay a hospital because it was sold. There was another question. Oh, casino movement. Our best knowledge is that it will be fronting Century Boulevard, somewhere east of Prairie. And so we're answering that. And I do have to say that the cruelty of some of you is mind-boggling to me. Do what was done in front of a child because you're so angry with your life. What could be wrong with your life that you would be so inappropriate? Anyone that would support that behavior, it stuns me. It seems the better we do, the lower some of you go. You don't realize that people have families. You're just despicable. Councilman Franklin nominates, and I appoint Fernando Meza to the Parks and Recreation Commission. Is there a second?
I concur.
Madam Clerk.
Council members, Dotson.
Aye.
Padilla.
Aye.
Morales.
Aye.
Franklin.
Aye.
Mayor Buds.
Aye. And we're adjourned.